Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Lifestyle Podcast. This is the first episode in our brand new series, The Retreat Experience. Yes, the Retreat Experience. So, where I take you behind the scenes with retreat leaders who are changing lives. So, today I'm so excited because we're talking about something powerful relating to strengthening marriages while surrounded by the beauty of the Virgin Islands. Okay, who would like that, right?
Now,
And so I have a guest here, as you can see, the incredible Michelle, alongside with her husband, William. They're going to be hosting a marriage wellness encounter here in the Virgin Islands coming up in 2026. And I know that you guys want to hear more about. So, Michelle, for those who haven't met you yet, I want you to tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey. What inspires you and your husband to step into this world of hosting retreats?
yeah. Thank you so much, JurLonna. As she said, my name is Dr. Michelle Vann. I am the evangelist of wellness. So wellness is my life and what I do. And my husband and I have been married for 35 years. And one of the things that we really began to see in our ecosystem was that there was not a lot around supporting Black marriage. Now, I don't discriminate. So I don't care who you love and what they look like. But our focus is how do we break the myth and the stereotype around that Black marriages don't last. And we believe that they do. We believe that we're surrounded by people that are phenomenally married. And so what we decided to do is to really pour into the hearts and minds of married couples. And so we do a marriage encounter website, podcast, if you will. It's really on Facebook, but we do that on Mondays and we kind of just share our heart and you get to see inside of our crazy personalities.
Yes.
And that just kind of developed. And so last year we began during Black Marriage Weekend, which is the very last weekend in March. And that was kind of our beginning to pull together. And so that very last weekend, we pulled together about 15 couples and we just began to pour into them. We had some other couples that had been married for various years. So we had couples that had been married through the decades. And we had them come and just share who they were and what they did. And so that's really who we are and what we do. You can find us out there. We're pretty.
Yeah. So did you say 35 years? Did you say 35?
Yeah.
Oh
In
my
November,
goodness.
will be 35.
There. Okay.
Yeah.
And you said a couple of things at marriage weekend. I didn't even know there was such a thing. Okay.
Yeah, so there used to be this huge I would say in the 90s there was this huge movement around Black Marriage Weekend and it's that last weekend in March and it kind of died off, but we decided, hey, how do we rejuvenate this? And you can find it if you Google it. There's still a national group, but
Okay.
here locally it kind of died off, and so we decided that we would recreate that, reinvent that.
Nice. I love it. So, there's so many couples talk about reconnecting and wanting to reconnect, but, few actually really carve out the time, I know my husband and I, we've been guilty of that sometimes. We're like, wow, we need to pause for a minute.
Absolutely.
And so, what is the heart and mission behind this particular retreat that's coming up in March 2026?
I think it's what you just said. I think it's really how do we begin at the beginning of the year? And no, it's not January, but it's still Q1. How do
Yeah.
we begin in the beginning of the year to really, really intentionally set out what does it look like for this year? What does it look like for us to schedule some real time with each other? So we sat down and put on our calendars, and this is part of what we're going to do is have people, sit down with your partner and put on your calendar, when are you going to take some breaks? When are you going? Because here's the thing. If we don't schedule it, it won't happen.
You're right about that.
We'll find a reason not to. We'll find a reason to do something else. We'll fill it with other things. We'll go and, we're guilty of that too. And so we really have to put it on our calendar and we have to schedule it and we have to make it just as sacred as we make wellness, just as sacred as we make a doctor's appointment, just as sacred as we make our job.
Very true.
You
Yes.
go to your job every day, right?
Yep.
You don't forget about going to your job.
Yeah.
But we will forget about intentional coming together. We will forget about
Yeah.
intentional vacations. And so how do we set those and allow ourselves to plan? So, some of our budgets don't allow for us to just take spontaneous vacations. But if we can plan, if we know that every 6 to 8 weeks we're going to go do something, it may not be huge, it may not be St. Thomas, but every 6 to 8 weeks we're going to do something. My husband and I bought an RV during COVID, and
I said
so
that's
one
nice.
thing that we have decided this fall is that we are going to take the RV out. We're going to go and do some things. And generally, in the fall is not the time when you take the RV out, but we're going to.
Yeah.
Even if we don't do anything, but just go sit it on our farmland, and he goes and hunts, and I, do whatever I do. But how do we intentionally set out some time, carve out some time to really pour into each other?
Yeah, I love it. You're really speaking my love language over here because we have these conversations all the time about setting that time apart.
Mhm.
And it's needed. And it's so funny. My husband says this all the time. He's like, you know what, babe? We vacation well together. I said, what do you mean by that? He said, it's something about when we go on vacation, it's like we just like really vibe with each other. The flow
Mhm.
is so much better. And I was like, yes, we need to have that on our calendar more often, right? And
When you don't have those vacation times, when you don't have those times to renew, you start to see it because you're more snippy, you're more short, you're more agitated. And I know when it's time. Okay, you know what? It's time for us to move around.
that's good. Move around. Yeah, I love it. Yes. So it's so funny because I know you do other retreats, right? And so you could have hosted this anywhere in the world. And so why the Virgin Islands? What does this location add to the experience?
Well, first of all, a lot of people don't go outside of their box. If we look at most people stay within, statistics say most people stay within 6 miles around their house. They
Yes.
don't really go to other places. And this is just a great, Virgin Islands, because it is still quote unquote part of the United States,
Yes.
at least for right now, who knows what'll happen. But it gives people the opportunity to go somewhere without necessarily having to have a passport, without necessarily having to have all of this documentation and all of these things. But it's also a beautiful place. My husband and I, if we can, he loves the beach and I love the water.
Yes.
I'm not necessarily a person who's going to be in the water all the time, but I like to hear the water. And the
Yes.
water is refreshing, it's renewing, it's just that place of when I can refocus. And so for us, we're always trying to figure out where can we go, that we can be by the water,
Yes.
near the ocean.
And then you're gonna get a chance to see those turquoise blue waters. There's nothing like
And
it,
they're
right?
gorgeous.
Yes. And glass water. Listen, who has glass water? The Virgin Islands.
Yes. Yes.
And, you know, um, one of the things when we first started connecting related to the wellness retreat here is that I remember you said, one of the perks was that I live here.
Yes.
And I just want to say it does make a difference. I mean, I sell wellness retreats or coordinate wellness retreats all over the world before. And I think the sweet spot is being here because I know the vendors very well. We
Yes.
live we live close to them. Some of us, my family, are the vendors or suppliers because we're in that world. And so I want to walk some people through some of the itinerary that we have scheduled. I'm so excited because listen, when I look at that itinerary,
I wish it was closer.
all right. And so we're going to give you guys a sneak peek. I know you gave us a little bit. I love what you said about one of the activities that's going to be done is writing out the schedule, planning for the year. I think that's really good, very intentional. The other thing I want to add is the massages.
I'm
Listen,
so excited.
I feel like every vacation need to have a massage. Everything. So, based off of everything that's on the itinerary, what is something that stands out to you that you would like to share with the people?
Well, the massages I think is going to be an amazing add-on. Our times of being able to come together, but also the times that you get to spend alone. See, here's the thing. Some retreats pack your day from morning to night and you feel like you've been at work. That's
Yes,
not what this is. It's not about us all being the villa that we're going to use is absolutely large. It's three separate spaces, but we
yes,
all have space to come together. So you're going to have your time of being able to just kind of do y'all, whatever that looks like. Go to the beach, play pickleball, lay on
yes,
the beach, lay out whatever that looks like, whatever that looks like for you. So to me, that's part of the beauty of it is
Mhm.
yes, we are going to have some activities together, but we are not going to be spending the whole time together. And so, for those of you that are kind of worried, oh my God, I don't want to spend time. Boo, I don't want to spend time with you either. The point is to rekindle. So you got to have time alone.
Yes, that part right there, right? And I was gonna say, what's so sweet about the villa that's going to be used? If you haven't been on my social media, I do have videos of the villa. Matter of fact, I'm about to post some more videos related to it. But listen, it's very spacious. I love the feeling that it's not in
So
a hotel.
gorgeous.
Yeah, but really coming from a corporate world, coming from the university, working in higher ed, I always was used to be in conferences at hotels.
Hmm.
It's something about being in a private villa. And on top of that, it's not just a closed in private villa, it's very open space. Many
Hmm.
different layers, different components, many different common space. So I'm glad you brought that up because sometimes that might be some people's concerns like, oh my gosh, I don't want to be on top of everybody. It's nothing like that, right?
Right.
And so, one of the things that I think really is going to be really well for everyone as well. It has the swimming pools there on the property. It's oceanfront, and then we're gonna do the yacht excursion. That's gonna be
Oh
amazing.
my gosh. Yes, I think that's going to be fun. And the guys have requested that they want to go and do a fishing trip because they want to get out in that gorgeous blue water and they want to do a fishing trip. So that's been one of the requests from one of the men. He was like, "Oh no,
Listen,
we want to go fishing."
I
So
can't wait to show you
that's
the
going to be
pictures.
amazing.
I gotta show you some videos and pictures. My husband just went fishing last week, and I promise you, I'm not exaggerating at all. He caught over 30 something fish,
Oh
and I
yeah,
mean
they're gonna be so excited about that.
yellowtail, hard nose. I mean the little cousin. He's like 15 years old. Caught a shark. Okay, huge. And so yes, we do eat shark meat, but
Hey, it's a fit.
so the fishing trip would not be an issue at all, okay? And so I think that you guys are going to really enjoy yourself. So I wanted to say this. I know some couples might be thinking like, we can't take the time off. Listen, you know what our life look like. What would you say to them right now?
You can't afford not to take time off. Here's the deal. We make time for whatever we want to make time for. You make time to go to whatever you want to make time for. You take time for what you want. And so this literally is when we start to think about the investment that you are making in your relationship. And I know some people will say, oh, I can invest in it and we can stay at home. But it's not the same when you stay at home. I promise you. Trust me, I have stayed at home. I have stayed within the continental United States. I love Vegas. It is my spot. But I will not have the same experience in Vegas that I will have in St. Thomas. There's just a different vibe about the island.
Different
The
flavor.
island, St. Thomas, we have been there before, and the vibe of the island is just so much different. The relaxation, the calm, the things that just happen because you are on the island.
Yes.
The air feels different. The climate is different. The
Sure.
movement is different. Just the way people talk, the way people move is just different. And you need to have that experience.
It does change things up, when you change your environment. And we're not saying to move to St. Thomas, but just changing your environment helps give you a different breath of fresh air, give you a different perspective of what's going on in your life as well. And to further elaborate, who would you say this retreat is designed for? Like, who do you think would benefit from attending?
So I think really any married couple, whether you've been married 1 month or 50 years, because it's about reconnecting
Hmm.
and it's about how do we build those connections. So if you're a newlywed, it's great for you because you're going to start your path in with great conversations, with great tools in your toolbox. If you've been married for a long time, it's a way to resharpen, to rekindle, to retool. Everybody needs to. That's why we have professional development. We're both in higher ed. And one of the things that we know is we provide professional development for our people. Why? Because we always need to be sharpening our tools.
Yes.
And in this marriage life, we need to be sharpening.
I know, like, when it came to, like, some people comments, like, who have been on marriage retreats before, some of the negative sides of it. They said, wow, it just felt like I was always in constant counseling, like it was like counseling 24/7. So, there's many different types of wellness retreats, right? And so can you kind of comment to that?
So we don't plan to do any counseling, period. None whatsoever. That's not what this is for. Will we be in some group times when we're having group conversations, when we are giving you tools? Absolutely. But it is not our intention to be counseling you. It is not our intention to have church. Because my husband is a pastor, sometimes people think that everything is going to be tilted towards church. No, we are a balanced people. Okay.
Yes.
We like just as much R&B as we like church. We like just, matter of fact, probably more. So don't think that this is going to be church. Don't think that this is going to be a conference. None of that. That's not what this is for. We will give you some materials. We're going to have a really cool retreat bag that, each couple will get. It will be some information. There'll just be some questions for you to ask. And really, it's about y'all working on y'all.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, so there'll be things that we ask you to do together, and then we will come as a bigger group together to say, hey, how did that feel to you? How did that work for you?
Yeah.
What came up? What are some things? What are some tips? What are some tricks that you think you should be able to share from what y'all had a conversation about?
Yeah. And it makes a difference when you're around other couples. It really does.
Mhm.
If you had a huge problem, you start noticing like, wait a minute, it's really not that bad actually, I can look at it from a different perspective.
Start to think that you're the only people having that same problem, and then you realize, well, dang, 4 or 5 other people are having the same issue. And how do we as a group help to put other interpretations in the room to say, hey, maybe this is, maybe it's this, maybe that.
Yeah.
And again, no one is trying to counsel you, but it is a great opportunity to reevaluate your thinking on a particular situation. Other people are going to have a different perspective.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So for the couple that is listening right now who's thinking this sounds exactly like something that we need, and you're asking yourself, okay, what is the, next steps? Well, the next step is listen, we asking you to sign up by doing a deposit, right? And so the link will be in the section of the YouTube page here. It's two experience, and the two stands for travel events and weddings. So it's TEWexperience.com/retreats, and you will see it there. And one thing I want to comment is that once you see it, you're going to see how fun Michelle and William is because listen, they are on a motorcycle. I love it. I love it. To secure your spot is $500 deposit. And we do have payment plans, but the later you wait, the bigger your payment plans, right? And so the quicker you put in your deposit, you secure your room, and then we can move forward. And it's an all-inclusive experience for the most part. So there's going to be meals, and you will see that when you look at the page, but you see certain meals that's included. Of course, your lodging and different things like that as well.
And we're providing the transportation from the airport, so you're not trying to figure that out. We're making sure that all of those things are taken care of. We will have refrigerators stocked, so that's not something you need to worry about either.
Yes. So listen, Michelle, thank you for sharing your heart and vision with us today. I just want to say
Yeah.
yes. And so for those listening, I have the link. Again, I will have the link in the show notes so you can learn more and join Michelle and William in the Virgin Islands. And remember, retreats aren't just a getaway, and they're a turning point, and your turning point might be just that one decision away. So until next time, thank you for watching. And if you have any questions or comments, definitely reach out to us in the comment section. Goodbye.